Morning guys, Crypto here with another video update. This is going to be a market update covering what I'm anticipating to happen in the next couple of weeks, what I'm going to be looking for in the next couple of weeks. We're seeing some major developments here from Bitcoin. As expected, what did I say in my last video? Yeah, we were heading up in my last video. We had to break 3930, I believe it was. We were right about here. And I said if we do break above 3930, we're likely to see 4,000 plus. At the same time, also be rallying. Alts were rallying, and I said they'd continue to rally. And we had some fairly large upside targets on a lot of alts that we were looking at. So let's go on. From today, we'll talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, a lot of the altcoins, and basically what I'm seeing here that looks really positive. We have a couple of scenarios here, but there's one that I'm leaning towards in particular. So let's start with Bitcoin. If we look here on the hourly chart, so we did break above our 3930 level, reclaimed it, broke above our two resistance here, we closed above them, and then we have now broken above our 4,000 level, and we're now flipping this supply zone into support. And so as long as we hold that, I think that we'll consolidate up above here and then continue up. From an LA wave perspective, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So possible third wave complete here with now the fourth wave retracement in play at the moment. And then I'd expect to continue up for our fifth wave. So interesting enough is that this is all looking like the start of one larger impulsive move to the upside. Let's take a look at the same Bitcoin chart, but on another exchange where I've drawn some other things that are of interest. So we see here that we have been channeling in this channel for a while now, right? And there's two possibilities here. So the first possibility, which is the more bearish possibility, is that we're just forming a corrective WXY to the upside, all right? So we have our three-wave move, we have our three-wave W, we have our three-wave Y, or three-wave X, sorry, 1, 2, 3, and then now we're forming a three-wave Y, all right? So that's one scenario, and that's the more bearish scenario of the two that I have here. For this scenario to play out, we're looking for a couple of things. So we already know that currently we're starting what looks to be an impulsive move to the upside, right? And we're counting it as such with a 1, 2, and then this is likely a third, a fourth, and a fifth, right? So we can already see that we're getting an impulsive move off the bottom. And if this is going to be a Y, it needs to be a three-wave move, right? So because we know that, we're going to be looking for one impulsive move, and then we're going to be looking for the eventual correction, whenever that may occur. So I'd assume that we get this impulse, and then we get this impulse as an A, then we get a correction as a B, and then we get our C wave to hit the top of the channel, right? It looks like that's going to be a little bit over 4.2K by the time we get there. And that'll give us a completed three waves and a possible completed Y. So it's at this point that things get very, very interesting, guys, because if this is just a Y, we'll complete this three-wave move, and then we'll proceed to dump. We'll proceed to dump all the way back through this entire level here, likely to target the 3.5 to 3.6K region, which is this area of consolidation right around here. All right, so that's likely where we're headed if this is just a WXY and we end up dumping, and that'll give us an expanded flat. We might even go lower, but I don't think we will. I think we'll end up somewhere around 3.5 to 3.6K to complete this 1, 2, 3 wave move, and then we may continue to the upside. All right, so that's one scenario. All right, the bullish scenario, the bullish scenario is quite it's quite interesting. So with the bullish scenario, this WXY goes away. And this is actually just a series of 1-2s that'll break out to the upside. Now, I made a video on this. My last video was a video on how Cardano had been doing the exact same thing that Bitcoin's doing now. We were channeling up, and then instead of rejecting, like we're looking for on the Bitcoin channel, instead of rejecting at the top of the channel once it reached up again, it actually broke to the upside and started going impulsively to the upside. So that's the bullish scenario on Bitcoin. And that particular scenario, we would ultimately end up breaking above the channel. So that's what we're looking for, is looking for a break above this channel top, okay? If this is a corrective structure, it shouldn't break above the channel top, okay? So if it does break above the channel top, then it's like a hint that we may be seeing a larger impulsive move forming, all right? So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a break of this channel top, which could indicate that we are actually in the middle of a massive impulse to the upside. That'll take us ultimately to $5,000 plus, okay? So that is the subwaves of this third wave, and what we could be seeing a series of 1-2s. We have a 1-2, 1-2, and then we're going to get our massive 3 of the third. All right. So that's the bullish case. In the bullish case, would have us then breaking above 4.1K. Our next immediate resistance is going to be this block right here between 4.3 to 4.5K, and where I expect you'd find some resistance, probably retest this channel, and then maybe continue higher. All right, and that once you break above this level, it's just clear skies till about 5.2 to 5.5 thousand. All right, so that's what we're aiming for in the bullish scenario. The key here, guys, is to look at this channel and to watch for a breakout, regardless of what happens, whether it's corrective or impulsive. I believe we're headed to the top of the channel, and that is going to give alts room to run like they already are. So I'm heavily exposed to alts right now. Specifically, Bitcoin Cash is one of my heaviest bags right now. And I think that we're going to go at the minimum to 4.1 to 4.2K, as I've been saying for a long time now. Break impulsively above that, though, and you're definitely going to want to be long, because there's a chance that we stop at 4.3 to 4.5, but there's also a chance that we simply continue to 5K plus. All right, now talking about the volume, some people have pointed out that the daily volume is declining and has been declining since our drop from this level. So what I would say to that is normally it's a pretty important sign, and it tell us, all right, this is corrective, not impulsive, and it won't break out the top. But there is one little caveat, and that is that if this really is a series of 1-2, 1-2s, like as I pictured earlier, then we wouldn't actually necessarily expect the volume to come in until we hit this third wave. And right now we're on subwaves 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, right? So I can give this volume a little pass pretty much, but I do need to see it start expanding once we break above this channel, if we do break above the channel, all right? Once we break above the channel, we'll be in our third wave, and that is when we'd expect to see a pump in the volume, all right? So I'm not too concerned about the declining volume yet, but if we do happen to break out of this channel to the upside, I do want to see this volume start to increase, all right, to signify that we are actually making an impulsive move and not a corrective one. So that's Bitcoin, guys. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum looking good right now. We have just looks like we've come up against this 130.39 resistance. We're now finding a little bit of resistance there, and we're looking to possibly correct here before making a fifth wave in there. The fifth wave may break through, it may get stopped there, and it may continue down for a retracement, which might provide an opportunity for entry. One more thing that I wanted to, actually, no, that's good. Okay, so that's Ethereum. And again, Ethereum, we're aiming for the top of the channel as well, right about 150, okay? Now let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash, which is one of my favorite coins right now. Just the way it's been performing has been excellent. So I entered a lot at around 160. I added to my position. I did not add actually at 153, even though that's my target that I was looking at. I posted on Twitter with the 5 waves complete at 153. I didn't add because I said I'm going to wait for confirmation in case this was simply a X wave, and I pointed that out to my followers as well, that this could be, we could have an A, B, C. So this could have been a B wave triangle, and then if you've been following me on Twitter, you already know this, but this could have been ABC or something, and then oops, and then this move could have been just a expanded flat, is what I was basically saying. So there was a chance that we would come down from here again, which is why I was being a little bit cautious. But I mentioned, and when I posted that I think it's highly unlikely that's what we're seeing, and we're much rather seeing an ABC completing, and then we're starting a new impulse to the upside. So what I did do, instead of adding longs at 153, I added longs on the Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin pairing rather than the USD pairing. So I am fully loaded on Bitcoin Cash with an average, I would say, about 155 to 160. If you guys are in this with me, you want to place your stop loss below this last low here about 153. That's the invalidation point for the upside. If we do come back and hit this level, that means we're likely forming a larger WXY correction. As I mentioned on my Twitter, we're likely forming something like that. All right, so keep that in mind. Your stop loss should be right around there if you're in this long. If you're looking to enter and you're not yet in, there is a chance, okay, there's a chance that we get some deep retracement here. I only say chance because a lot of times when things start moving up like this, they don't normally give us a lot of opportunities to re-enter. But if this is a completed fifth wave, which I believe it might be because Bitcoin is also at resistance and slightly above resistance, but looks to be consolidating before the next move higher, then we may get a small little ABC here, which would give you guys an opportunity to re-enter or to enter for the first time if you're not already in. If you are looking to enter, I would target this 161 to 164 area as an entry level, and below that I would target this 160 level. So orders pretty much, if you're looking to get in, stacked between 160 to 163 to 164, I would say it's pretty safe. Again, your stop loss should be below 152, so keep in mind how much you stand to lose if this happens to drop through. That being said, our upside target is quite high, guys. Our upside target is right here at 232. So even if you are taking a trade here and setting a stop loss below 152, you're risking about $10 worth, and you're going to be making about 70. So it's about a 7-hour trade. So it's an excellent trade regardless. Just manage your position size. So if it does go the other way, you're not losing like 20% of your portfolio, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash to Bitcoin pairing, which is also looking similar to what we're seeing here. All right, so the Bitcoin Cash pairing, guys, looks very similar to the Bitcoin Cash USD pairing. The same thing that we're seeing here. If you're looking for an entry, then you'll be looking to, this might be a completed 5 here again, no guarantees, and we could be getting an extended wave here, but if this is a completed 5, we're looking for an ABC retracement here, and I'm targeting this orange line that I drew out yesterday at around 0.04095 for this correction. I would be ecstatic to get an entry there. I have orders set, quite large order set, sorry, right about here. And if we do get that opportunity, I'm definitely taking it. At this point, guys, we've now broken above this last high, so this looks good for continuation. This looks to have been a completed first wave. So your stop losses can once again be set right about here, which might have been set at for a while now. Since I made my entry. This is actually the trade that I'm taking, and basically I'm targeting the top, these equal highs here, and that is going to be, if it pans out, it's going to be a 20.4R trade, guys, which is pretty cool. You still have time to get into this. It's not too late. Just manage your risk and don't FOMO in at the top, guys. Look for those retracements. Look for, again, this could actually retrace. This may just retrace to this level right here, honestly, right? So look for those levels of retracement. Try to get on those dips. I'm gonna hop on my laptop in a second so I can catch this one. But oh shit! But don't FOMO, guys. There's always gonna be other opportunities. Lots of alts are looking good right now. There's opportunities across the board on many alts. These are just some of my favorite. So let's see here. Okay, let's see. So that is Bitcoin Cash. Let's take a quick look at Cardano, which is the other alt that I've been covering here. And Cardano actually looks a lot better than it did yesterday. So let's see here. It's the tether pairing. There it is. Okay, so yeah. So yesterday, guys, we were so we closed below. I said we held this blue line. If we didn't hold this blue line, we would likely continue down to this blue line. We did hold it, and we continued up. The next day, we closed inside the red box, which is excellent. And then I was a little bit concerned with this pattern. I thought we're grinding up. We might reject here and come back down. But today, as you can see, we've broken out above our resistance once again. And we are again on our path to our next target, which is going to be at around 7 cents. All right. Guys, there's something important that I want to mention here. So I never like to say the bottom is in because we don't know until it's actually in. And you can make a lot of mistakes trying to catch the bottom. However, what I'm seeing here across the board on alts is that some are making new highs. We've seen some alts make new highs. A lot are retesting this level, which is kind of equivalent to where Bitcoin was at 6K. A lot of them, however, have broken above this level and continued to the upside. So alts are definitely making moves here, and some of them, Bitcoin Cash, for example, are showing us classic reversal patterns off the lows, off the bottoms. This is like stuff that you read about in textbooks, guys. This is just, it looks really good here, and I don't think it's let's see. So we have here, this is like classic cup and handle forming here for Bitcoin Cash. That goes up a little bit. We get a little dip here, and we go up. This is a classic reversal pattern, guys. It tends to happen when the trend is changing direction, and we're seeing all the signs here that we could be seeing a possible reversal for many alts. So what I think it's very reasonable to say is that maybe alts have bottomed out, right? So if alts have bottomed out, then I think it is possible that Bitcoin has bottomed out. I'm not saying it's happened yet. I'm just saying it's now, I think, finally a very real possibility that Bitcoin has bottomed out. Again, not saying we can't go lower. I'm just saying it looks a lot more likely that Bitcoin has bottomed out than it did a month ago. So with this in mind, guys, keep that in mind. Again, nothing for Bitcoin is confirmed until we break up above 6K, in my opinion, right? So this is our first major target where we can still reject and fall back down and possibly get another lower low. I think if we do reject at 4.3 to 4.5K, another lower low and new lows is very realistic or very possible. But I also think that if we go up into the 5,000s, the chances that we get a lower low are a lot more slim. All right, so keep that in mind, guys. Everything is looking great so far for continuation. The key that we want to look at is, again, we want to watch Bitcoin and we want to watch how it's moving in our channel. Okay. Again, look to be consolidating over this resistance and support, holding it very well right now. But the key is, what are we going to do when we hit 4.2K? All right. And so that is a level that I'm still watching, guys. I am pretty much fully long right now. I think the opportunity that we're seeing here is pretty low risk. Either we lose this channel and you get out of your longs, either we hit this channel and you take profit on your longs and then short, or we break through this channel to the upside and we see massive moves to 5K plus on Bitcoin, and many alts will continue their massive runs to the upside. So I think getting in long here is not a bad idea at all. I've already loaded up most of what I can, so there's not much left for me to do. If you are a hodler and you are wondering if this was the bottom and we may not see the bottom again, and you're concerned about sitting in cash while waiting to buy the bottom, this is not advice. This is not financial advice. It's just what I did. What I did for one of my parents' portfolios, and that is I had them go ahead and go long at around 39.70 when I saw everything that was happening. Basically converted their fiat into Bitcoin at around 39.60, placed a stop loss here at 38.60, so the spread of $100, right? And the idea is, because they're hodlers, they're not looking to trade, I basically converted their holdings into Bitcoin in case this is the bottom and we never come back down. Again, not saying it's going to happen, but this is sort of an insurance policy. So risking $100 a coin here, and then assuming that we continue up and break through this channel and head to the upside, they'll be holding all their Bitcoin for the ride to 5K plus, or however high it is that we go. So the risk to reward seemed pretty clear to me, pretty simple, and it made sense. Assuming that we hit 4.1K, I would then move my stop loss for these up to break even. So at which point, if we do happen to dump and we come flying back down, they will just get stopped out at break even, not take a loss, and be back in cash, ready to buy a possible lower low, right? So in this way, sort of like an insurance policy. If we continue to go up, they've already got their Bitcoin. They don't have to worry about missing the bottom. And if we do happen to go down, they'll get stopped out at break even and then have the ammo to buy low once again. So that's kind of what I did for one of my parents. If you're concerned, I had someone ask me about that. Should I be accumulating Bitcoin or should I be holding Tether? It's not a decision for me to make, and so I'm not going to make it for you, but that is just what I did for another hodler, to sort of protect themselves in case this was a massive move to the upside, guys. That's all I have for today's update. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the update. All right, thanks.